Assalamualaikum and Salam Satu Malaysia. Welcome back to the iLecture for the course CBPM 4103 IT Project Management. How's your learning so far? I'm sure you have better understandings of what project management is all about. In this session, we are going to cover resource management and procurement. We will discuss about how resource management is important in IT projects and how procurement process can be done. Therefore, by the end of the session, you should be able to explain resource categories, explain what is resource loading and leveling, discuss the procurement process, and explain the common types of contract. Okay, let's start. Do you know resources are the most important thing in IT projects? Without resources, you are not able to run the project. What are resources, by the way? Resources can be any item or person that are needed to run the project. It can be categorized into project team, user group, and steering committee. Project team is the group who actually runs the project by gathering and analyzing requirements, develop a software based on the requirements, and deploy and commission the software for use. User group is normally the one who uses the software for business purposes. Steering committee consists of top management who provides a direction and fund to the project. Are you clear with the resource category? I'm sure you are. Let's move on. Now, let's see the main key players in an IT project. There could be more people play key role in an IT project. However, here we will cover only the executive sponsor, project manager, team leaders, system analysts, programmers, etc. Read up about their key roles in the slides. When managing resources, you need to manage it effectively. There are two things that you may have to look into. First, resource loading. Second, resource leveling. In an IT project, you have to hire resources in order to run the project. So, what is resource loading exactly? It refers to the amounts of individual resources required for the project. You have to be careful when managing resources. There are two scenarios that impact your project. First, resource overload, where you require more resources than what you currently have. This will lead to the delay of the project because you do not have sufficient resources to execute the project activities. Second, resource underload, where you require less resources than what you currently have. For example, your resource requirements is 8 people and available resources are 10. This may not impact your project. However, the remaining resources will be idle and do nothing, but you still have to pay them. Resource leveling. The purpose is to replan your activities in order to balance your project resources so that you are able to get resources when needed. This helps you to run your project based on your resource requirements and avoid any idle resources. Enough about resource management. Now, we are going to look into procurement and contract management. As you can see, procurement means acquiring or purchasing goods between two parties. It can be between your company and the vendor or contractor who sells goods or provides services. Here is the procurement process. It starts from procurement planning, where you will make a decision whether to proceed with the procurement. Next, you will find and select the best vendor or contractor who can provide the good or service by issuing RFP or request for proposal. Once you have selected a vendor, you will award the contract to them, followed by providing the required goods and services until its completion. There are two types of procurement tools and techniques. First, make or buy analysis, where an analysis to be done prior to making the procurement decision. Second, experts or people who are specialized in the area to provide inputs for decision makings. Procurement involves contract or legally binding document between two parties. This is the list of contract type that you may find when doing procurement. The common contract type that most organizations have are fixed price or lump sum, time and material cost plus, whether it can be incentive fee, fixed fee, or percentage of cost. Fixed price involves a fixed to total price until the product or service is delivered. Normally, the contractor will bond any additional cost to the project. Time and material is based on the actual cost of resources required. Meanwhile, cost plus, whether it can be incentive fee, fixed fee, or percentage of cost, involve the actual cost together with incentive or fee based on mutual agreement between the company and contractor. If you look at the diagram, a buyer will have a low risk if they go for fixed price contract, but high risk for cost plus percentage of cost. Meanwhile, a seller normally has an opposite risk where they will have a high risk if they go for fixed price. As I mentioned earlier, they will bond any additional cost incurred besides the original cost. Okay, that's all about resource management. By now, I hope you have good understandings of resource management. Till I see you again in our next session, thank you and have a nice day.